What's going on, everybody? I saw this cool poster on Pinterest and I thought I would show you how to do it using the Type on a Path tool in Illustrator. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so I'm here in Illustrator and what I'm gonna do is go ahead and recreate these basic shapes of the big letters, and then from that point we will use the Type on a Path tool to create our text. And I might as well show you the fastest way to do this, or at least what I think is the fastest way, because these are not actual fonts. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of create this rectangle and then just grab those little corners right there. And then what we'll do here is we'll create like this little rectangle going this way. And I'll grab these and do this as well. Oh, and also you want to make sure that you hit the letter A on your keyboard when you're selecting individual anchor points. That way we're selecting these bottom ones without selecting the top ones. And then just go ahead and grab these little circles right here and just move it up. Now I'm going to swap the fill and the stroke, and I'm going to go to my Pathfinder and I'm going to hit minus front. And that's just going to cut that out right there. And then we'll just repeat the process here, and we are going to recreate these by just creating rectangles. So this one right here, we're going to go all the way to this portion and select this right here. And then we're going to go to about right here or so and go to about here. Select these two and do the exact same thing. And we can go in here and swap the fill and the stroke. And then we'll go up here and create this little guy. Round the corners there. And I'm going to duplicate this and bring it down here. Reflect it and come over here. And now I'm just going to grab the rectangle and do this. We're going to go right here to this point. And we'll bring it to about here. And you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. And we'll duplicate this down here. And make it overlap right there. That's pretty good. What we're doing is we're creating some areas that we can go in and take out after we use our divide tool. So we have all of our areas done here, and I'm going to swap this to a fill. Go ahead and click on divide, and that's going to cut out all these areas that we want to remove. And as you can see here, it easily creates these sections that we can go in and just take out. I'm going to move this over here to make sure that that is the shape that we want, and it is. So now I'm going to select all of these and click on Unite. So now that is all one shape. And I forgot to round this one, so let's click on this, round that, and then go over here, select all of this, click on Divide again, and then we'll just take out this one. All right, I think you have the general idea, so I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the process and finish all of this out. All right, so we're done with that portion of it. And before we move on, one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I make a note of is that as a designer, you want to get to a point, or work on getting to a point, where you can look at something and be able to tell what it's made up of just from the shapes. All right, so let me go ahead and move this off the artboard so I can show you an example of that. When I look at this U right here, I can say that is a rectangle with rounded corners on the bottom. So it's very valuable to be able to grab your rectangle tool and easily recreate what you're seeing using just the rectangle tool and your Pathfinder options. If you're going to be an Illustrator designer, you've got to master the Pathfinder. All right, so now I'll go ahead and move this off of our artboard so that way we can directly work with this text. All right, so there are a lot of different ways that you can do this, but this is the way I suggest doing it. Let's go ahead and grab our shape, go up to Object, Path, and Offset Path, and we'll bring this in by probably about 1 1/4 or so, or maybe I'll just kind of do like 1.2 right here. And what that does is just going to give us a really good idea of the center point of this object. So we're going to go over here to the Type tool, and we're going to go to Type on a Path tool, and just click anywhere on the path, and let's type whatever this says, Sam's Tag. I'm going to change our font to Helvetica Bold. And just out of habit, I'm just going to change this to optical kerning. Of course, it doesn't really matter too much. When you're using Type on a Path, it's so much easier to keep everything aligned left. That way you can use tracking to push all of your letters out. So our spacing is a little bit too high. So what we need to do is go over here to the paragraph panel and increase the left indent spacing. So we'll just kind of get it like around there. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. And then we'll set the size to 40 to make it a little bit closer. So as you can see right here, the type is a little bit too far to the right. So all we have to do there is go into our character panel and do a baseline shift. So we're just going to bring this over probably -15. There we go. That's exactly where we need it to be. So I'm going to hit T on my keyboard, and we're going to go into this text so that it's editable, and then go to the space right after the S there And all we have to do is increase our kerning. And setting the first one will give you a good idea of what you can enter for the next one, and then you can just kind of go in and adjust from there. But as you can see, this one is going to be, you know, fairly large numbers. And you can just go in and refine it exactly how you want it. No, not 10,000, 1,000. And now we've swapped the fill and the stroke on that U, and now we'll just color drop this yellow right here. And that's how you use your Type on a Path tool to create text that wraps around objects. So just go to Path and Offset Path to finish the rest of those shapes and the text inside. And you may have to adjust the Offset Path values to get it just right. There are so many things you can do with the Pathfinder tool and the Type on a Path tool, and I really hope that I taught you something valuable today. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe, and click the bell for notifications to be notified of all future content. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.